Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's 6:15 a.m., June 15th. My name is Amal, and today I'm going to start off with a intro and a story about myself. Okay? A lot of you guys don't know who I am exactly, where I come from. And so my background is kind of like this when it comes to the markets. I've told the story before, and it still kind of stings me whenever I tell it because I can still remember how it felt when I was in high school and I had found out the credentials for my dad's stock account. He used to trade in the stock market with some money that he had, and I somehow found the login for it and I logged into it. And, back then, like as a high school student, I thought I was hot shit, thinking that, all right, well, I understand the stock market. I watch news all the time. I just figured I'll give it a shot. And, this was real hard earned money by my father. And first couple days, maybe a couple weeks, I even got some picks right and I made him some money. Unfortunately, this was when he didn't really know what was happening. And then the next couple months, I think this is where I think right around the turn of the 2008, 2009 financial crisis, right around that time is where things started going bad. Now, I made some mistakes on my own, but in large part, um, you know, I also went into some aggressive trades where I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of just looking at the market as a way to make some easy money. I think way that's a mindset that a lot of people enter the market with, which is thinking that they can make a lot of money. And unfortunately, I got burnt really bad, and I lost a bunch of money for my father, and I felt horrible when I did that. And my pops and I kind of sat down and we talked about it. And of course, he was pissed, but I think the one thing that really gave me courage was when he helped me understand that this is one of the best games to get into if you really want to learn how to trade or want to trade. And so he actually pretty much forgave me. But after that, he also encouraged me to, get my own account or create a separate account for me and start trading. And so with the mistake that I had and the guilt that I had for losing my father's money, I started relentlessly learning about the market. I started reading about technicals. I started reading about trading psychology, investment psychology. I started reading about how Warren Buffett made his billions. I started reading about all the different markets that are in the world, how they're interconnected, how bond rates impact the equities markets, or how the currency markets are impacted by global trade. I just started to want to learn everything. And then months go by, years go by, and I just kept staying hungry. And when I entered college, I was probably one of the few kids, at least in my friends group or anyone that I knew of, who was actually trading stocks. So I came in the stock market as a college student, much later on, and actually started making money. I used to invest in alternative energies, Pacific Ethanol, Vestas Wind Energy, even sometimes Chevron and ExxonMobil, just because I wanted some oil exposure. But I was never able to make money consistently. And so some of the books that I read, some of the articles that I used to read or forums I used to read, because back then they didn't really have that much information on YouTube about how to become a day trader or how to be successful at it. So I used to just read books and read forums and chat groups and ask all these questions. And everyone would tell me that it's a game of patience. Whatever I read would talk about, you have to work on compounding your gains. And I didn't really quite understand that, but I slowly realized that the way to the market in terms of its success is truly that you have to, number one, be emotionless when it comes to your winners or your losers. You have to treat it like a job. Okay. And so this is why when you treat it like a job, I dislike the phrase day trading because it implies that you have to trade every single day. And it also has a negative connotation, in my opinion. I rather like to think of it as trading for a living. Because if you're trading for a living, you wake up every day with a sense of hunger. Doesn't mean you have to enter every trade like, the day trading word implies, but rather that you are doing your homework for whatever it takes to quench your hunger and your thirst for what's in the market. And so when you actually do your homework properly, when you actually know exactly what you're doing in the market, and you have your setups right, you've done your fundamentals research, you've done your technicals research, then you are ready to actually make a trade. And so we come to this point where, now I'm about 11 years in because I started trading in about 2007 or 8. After trading alternative energies, I started to get into commodities a little bit. I started to get into FX right around 2014 or 15. I got into Bitcoin 2016. But right around 2014 and 15, I was actually making some decent money in the market, but I still had my tech consulting job. I didn't want to let that go because I was too scared. What if I fail? And so the one smart thing that I did was always keep a job on the side, but always keep learning from the market. Be a student of the market. Never think that you know more than the market or more than what other analysts or other smart people are telling you. That's where, if you start thinking like that, you're destined to fail. Okay, but if you start thinking about the market as how much can I learn today, who can I learn from today, then you start to realize the importance of absorbing as much information, waiting patiently for your trades, and then understanding how compounding gains works. So around 2015 or 16, once I started making money consistently, I started thinking to myself, okay, can I do this for a living? I still held my tech consulting job, but I wasn't quite ready to make the leap. And so I think I got introduced more so to crypto in 2016 of actually buying and trading Bitcoin because I graduated from Purdue University and I studied cryptography in my computer and information tech classes. I was a minor in finance. So this Bitcoin phenomenon was in my head, in my circles, in college around 2012. But I never really touched it. And so once I made some decent money trading Bitcoin and cryptos, I figured, all right, well, now I have another new asset class that I trade, aside from trading Forex and equities. So I can diversify my risk and start having exposure to the crypto market. And so once I made money in 2016, 17, a decent amount, and then I started making free videos, back in the day, 2016 or so, end of 2016. I started making TradingView videos and TradingView analysis. And then these guys from Cryptosomniac, which is now rebranded as Alpha Trades, they found me. They said, hey, do you want to come work with us? Because we saw your analysis and it's pretty great. I said, sure. Well, then they opened me up to a whole new community and a whole new income stream, which is, people like yourselves who are watching our YouTube videos for days and weeks and months now. You're looking for an understanding of the market. You're looking for clues. You're looking for analysis. You're looking for free trade setups that we provide. And so I started to fall in love with that because the one thing that you have to understand when it comes to having a job is you need two things that come from a job, right? You need stable income or good income to keep you in the job, and you need acknowledgement and encouragement. And I think I get all those things from our Alpha Trades community because we have some of the best members, in my opinion, in the entire crypto space because these are slightly older folks, right? And I don't mean like older as in 50s and 60s. I just mean that they're not 20-year-olds who are just looking for signals. We have some late 20-year-olds. We have some, mid 30s, mid 40s, 50s. But these people all in all are far more mature than your average crypto Twitter troll who just gets butthurt when you start talking about Bitcoin going down. And so once I found that community, I started to be more and more involved in the community. And while I was making money on the side in the markets, I started making money on the Cryptosomniac side, which is, again, now Alpha Trades. I said, all right, well, now I'm making money in the market, money in Cryptosomniac. Well, what do I need a tech job for, right? I was consulting, but still not super comfortable because, again, crypto was still in its nascent stages. It was also going through its bubble stages in 2017, which, again, I had recognized, I think probably a lot before many other people. I said, maybe this bubble is going to pop and everything is going to go to zero. And then I started to recognize, the importance of some of the crypto assets. And I said, okay, maybe some of these things are going to be here to stay, kind of like the dot-com bubble. I studied the dot-com bubble pretty deeply, and I understood one thing, which was, though it was a bubble, 99% of companies disappeared, but the 1% that stayed are still here today, 20 years later. And they're probably going to be here 10, 20 years later from today. So it gave me an understanding that maybe this is a space that I could do something in. And so I got more and more involved. And right around 2018, 2019, I said, all right, I've come to the point where I'm making good money in the market consistently. And again, this is now after, a 9-10 year journey. Some people talk about how they started making, money in 3 or 4 years and they quit their jobs and whatnot. I think that's great. Maybe I was a slow learner. Maybe I was a little bit cautious, but in either case, I'm happy the path that I took. So the path that I'm on right now is now being 11 plus years into trading and investing. We rebranded our community into Alpha Trades, where we empower aspiring and experienced traders, as you can see. So we come to a point, in my life where I quit my job in tech consulting 2018, 2019. I said, well, my wife and I talked about, well, we have enough money to kind of pretty much travel the world, move around, trade, because trading just requires a laptop and an internet connection. That's it. And same thing with my community. I can pretty much work remote. I can be in any part of the world and answer their questions. And I do so diligently. And I spend a lot of time in the community, right? Which is our Alpha Trades community. So 11 plus years later, here I am trading for a living and then running this Alpha Trades group. And so my goal for the next, 2 to 3 years is build this community consistently, provide more and more information, and bring on more and more smart guests so we can discuss what's happening in the markets and how you folks who are watching our videos can learn and make informed decisions. So those are kind of my goals and, who I am as a person, right? It's been a long journey, and I have a lot more to work towards, but I figured I'd let you guys know where I come from, because I see all these people who watch our videos yet never leave comments or, don't really maybe know who I am, but I figured I'd let you guys know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the introduction. So let's dive into some crypto analysis. Again, on our YouTube channel, we do this stuff pretty much every single day, right? We provide free videos. In our Discord channel, this is where we provide information about trade setups. For example, we've been short, since basically beginning of June. My average on my short is 9,775. I'm about $650 or $670 in profit right now. Okay. And our community also knows this because, as I've said before, I like to lay things out methodically and let people know exactly how I'm trading, why I'm entering the trade, what my risk is, how much I'm risking in terms of if I get stopped out, where my stop is, how much my leverage is, where my target profit areas are, all kinds of information that would be very useful for the average person. So all the members that you see in the Advantage side in our community, these people love this information because it helps them understand, their own biases, if they have any, if they want to enter a trade or not. Obviously, I can't tell you to buy or sell, because I can't give you financial advice, but I can tell you guys exactly what I'm doing in the market. And so for the last several weeks, I've told you guys that this to me was distribution. And I would expect from this area right here, we roll over to the downside. And I don't think we're far now. I'd probably say that if equities keep bleeding, especially into the week, and by the way, we've bled a lot from past the previous week. So if we keep bleeding, I don't see any reason why Bitcoin doesn't go straight down to at least $7,600. One of my big targets is about $6,900, at least $7,600, $7,700 over here. Obviously, we have to break through some key levels down here around 87, 8,800 bucks. But we tapped 8,800, 8,892 just about a couple hours ago right there. So I'm thinking that if equities keep bleeding through the week, and again, you have to pay attention to how the S&P 500, how US equities are doing, because Bitcoin has been very closely tied to the S&P 500 as of late. You can see right here, let's dial down a little bit. Okay, so if we do a comparison, so here's Bitcoin in the orange chart moving exactly with equities. Look how closely they are tied. Look, even the pop up right there, rolls over, pushes back up, rolls over. Again, even today, you can see the exact structure there. Look how closely it's tied. So it's very important that we pay attention to US equities, especially the S&P 500. And so in our community, we provide a lot of information in the equities side. Yesterday, we had a live session with Austin Ashraf. He's a former Citigroup portfolio manager. He's a guest that we bring on every single Sunday. And myself and Faisal, who is our equities analyst right here, Faisal, him and I discuss equities every single day in our Advantage group. All these locked channels that you see, these are all the Advantage channels. And we tell our community exactly how we're seeing the market. And then Austin, of course, our guest, he comes on and he discusses his positioning in the market, okay? What he's trading, what he's shorting, what he's longing. Obviously, that part of the interview is reserved for our Advantage members, but you can see overall the video on YouTube or over here on Twitter. Our Twitter is right there, the Alpha Trades. You could see our outlook for the next week, the next couple weeks ahead, if you're interested. And then that will give you a good idea of how Bitcoin will probably move, okay? So we provide a lot of free content, a lot of information for our members, okay? So anyway, getting back to the Bitcoin analysis, after rolling over and breaking past June open, you could see we tested that area's resistance for several hours, or I guess, almost a day right there. And then we got rejected and rolled over, right? So we're currently at 91.13. I don't see us holding here like for long. To be honest, I'd probably figure we're gonna head down here towards 87.50, maybe $8,800 or so. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And that may happen today, maybe tomorrow, depending on how the equities start rolling. You can even see something else, which is on the volume side, right? You can see as we rolled over, candle sizes got bigger and then the volume ticked up as well, right? So candle spread increasing and volume increasing is the sign of momentum picking up for the bears. Same thing on the daily. You can see right there, this candle and then this candle, you can see volume got bigger, right? So we want to see more consistent, higher volume and then more selling occurring. And I could probably see that, happening by the end of the week. We'll see exactly what happens, but for now, I'm still fairly confident that we're going to roll over at least a little bit more. okay? We did have the weekly close, right? And again, even with the weekly, as you can see right here, this weekly was a pretty decent bearish weekly, not substantially bearish, but bearish nonetheless, that sort of confirmed this SFP right here, because this was a SFP because you can see we wicked past this previous high, did not close above it, closed much lower, and then rolled over. So this confirmed that this is the reversal potentially starting. And so if we start seeing this current week that we're on, which ends next Sunday, if we see a break below 87.27 and hold, I'd say this whole thing is definitely a mark of a big reversal to the downside. And the big reversal to the downside is at least we head back towards 6,900 or so, in my opinion, or possibly previous lows down here. The 5, the 4, the 3,000 levels are then in line. But again, a lot more time has to elapse, a lot more things have to happen until then. But I'm looking at this market as, okay, maybe it's signaling a potential reversal now. But we definitely need that sign on the weekly to tell us, all right, it's game over. We're starting to head down much further. I think this was definitely visible on the daily chart because, let me see here. I think we looked at this on the daily right here. So this key marker, I was telling our members a couple days ago, if you look at this key marker, this was the last bit of consolidation before we made this big push up. So on the way back down, if this is supposed to be support, right? Because this is where the candles pretty much opened and closed right there. Let me stretch this out a little bit further. You can see right there, these candles open and close right there. We pushed up from here, even came back, pierced it, but we did not close below. Again, pierced it with the wick, didn't close below. Wick right there, didn't close below. This one finally closed below. And once it closed below this area, which again, happens to be right around that June monthly open, you can see we rolled over trying to stay above it, but then boom, bears came in, shoved the price down. And again, another big shove. So this was really the sign that was telling us that we were definitely going to head down further. Even if you didn't take the trade with us up here around 9.7 or 9.8 for a short, okay? So not only did we short and are we in profit on our short position right now in a pretty significant amount, we actually also picked up some options positions in Bitcoin. Some pretty decent ones actually. So this one was when Bitcoin was at 94.33 and it was priced at 0.075. Let me see. And so this morning I checked my options position. I'm up about 70%, as you can see. That's a pretty significant gain. And again, options, this is not leverage. This is an actual 70% gain on my option. So we're doing pretty fantastic work in our community. And you can see, like I said, I posted this June 12th. So that was Friday. I told my members that, hey, I'm going to go short on this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the SPY option. I'll show you guys that after too. This was yesterday actually. I posted this yesterday at 6:15 a.m. and told our members that, hey, I'm going to go pick up some put options on Bitcoin. And these are pretty short dated, right? They're June 19th, 87.50 puts. So doing pretty good on those, okay? Let me see here. And then last but not least, here's the other position in the market, which we have. It's the SPY put for July 8th, 296. You can see right there, July 8th, 296. It was priced at 0.21% negative. Now, and that's when I picked that up. Let me see, when the market was at 3,025. This was Friday. Now the market is right on my target figure, right? Because we're at 29.68. So I'm spot on with my target. My option expires way the heck in July 8th. So this is probably going to be an in the money option. If you're not familiar with options, make sure you come join our community so you can learn. But in the money options right here, this one's probably at least up 30–40% right now. By the end of the week, if we go down lower, I'm probably going to be up 100, maybe 200%. Last but not least, here's our other trade. And again, all this stuff is announced to our Advantage members, okay, every single day. Here's the other trade that we picked up. We entered a dollar ZAR, so dollar South African rand, Forex position at 17.06, right around this area. And we're up, I think, a decent amount, maybe like a good percent and a half or so. Let me see here. So we're up about 1.1%. So decent job so far, right? Nothing too significant, but I'm still looking for more upside in this trade. So I just showed you guys all our trades. You know, all these trades you would have gotten to know in real time when we took them if you were part of the Advantage membership. Okay. So if you're wondering how you join, we currently have a 50% off discount. You can join the Discord link below. You can shoot me a message when you join right here. Message me and say you're interested in the 50% discount. And we can work out a deal for the first month. And, you know, you can also just join the free Discord, right? There's also a free Discord link below. But if you like our analysis and you've been watching us for a while, a thumbs up and a comment goes a long way. You help us be more recognized in the community, be more visible on YouTube. Okay, so you know all our positions, right? We have a spot put, a Bitcoin option put, short on the market. Our Bitcoin short is going pretty well. So all these positions, you know, our Advantage members get to see. So if you are interested in this kind of information, and again, we can't provide financial advice, but we can show you exactly what we're doing. If you are interested in that, come join the Advantage membership. The link is below for a free Discord, or you can message me when you join and ask me about the 50% off. I hope you guys enjoy my story, my beginnings, and where I am today. It's been a lot of hard work, and it hasn't always been an easy journey. But I'm always there to just keep fighting. And I think that's the difference that separates me from other people. Okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for always being loyal. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoy our content. And again, y'all take care. Have a good rest of your Monday. Cheers.